Sometimes humble beginnings make an absolutely fantastic outcome. We're going to start with a whole pot full of water, putting a little bit of oil in there. Next, we're going to put a little garlic powder in there just to make sure we've got plenty of seasoning going on. Next is going to be a box of our favorite pasta. Now, I got these cavatappi, also known as a corkscrew, and we're going to get those ready to boil. We're going to put those over there, and while they're tenderizing in that hot water, we're going to get them sauce ready, okay? So what we got here is a little bit of ragu cheese sauce. It looks a whole lot like another kind of block cheese that you can buy just on the shelf at your grocery store. We love Velveeta around here, and this ragu stuff is absolutely fantastic. It melts well, it blends well, and that's part of the reason why we're using it. So what we're going to do is just go ahead and make sure we get every drop of that cheese out of the inside of the packaging. Next up, we got just a little bit of milk. We're going to use a cup of that and just pour it right down on top of the cheese sauce, okay? Now, this is another reason why I love using this stuff right off the shelf. It blends like a dream. Just a little bit of whisking and that cheese and milk come together. Now, if you're using real cheese, it ain't going to happen quite that fast, okay? You can also have some problems with separation. So using this stuff is absolutely fantastic for what we've got in mind. Now, coming up next is going to be a little bit of minced garlic. Love this stuff. It is so delicious and it's so good for you. So we're going to go ahead and use 2 tablespoons of that. Just drop it right in. Next up is some yellow onion. We're going to chop it up real nice and fine and drop it right in there as well. Now, these are a little bit tricky. You got to make sure you get everything out of the bottom of that container, all right? Because I don't want to leave any of these behind. They're going to stick just a little bit. Use that handy-dandy trusted rubber spatula and get every morsel of that onion down into your mixing bowl, okay? Now we're going to fold all these ingredients together, making sure that we get a good mix going. Between the nightshade, that means your garlic and your onion, you should have a real full flavor in your cheese sauce already. Now next up, we're going to dice up some red pepper, which I absolutely love. Like it a whole lot better than a green bell pepper, that's for sure. This is a real full flavor without just overpowering everything in the bowl. That's the way I feel about green bell pepper. Makes me a little bit uncomfortable, I'll be honest with you. But the red, just right. Beautiful color, and it's got a perfect full flavor without just making it taste like it's completely made out of green bell pepper. So we'll go ahead and fold all that in while we're going ahead and mixing it. Again, it's one of those things where we mix and we mix and we mix because we don't want to have too many dry ingredients versus wet ingredients. We kind of mix as we go to make sure that we don't get just a little bit clumpy. So now then what we're going to do is set this aside, and we're going to get out our 9x13 glass baking pan. Going to spray it with some non-stick spray. I've got Pam and I love it. It's real good. Butter flavor is one of my favorites. Whenever we get done with that, we're going to go ahead and take our pasta off of the heat and drain it real good in colander and pour it right down there into our baking sheet. Going to make sure, just in case it hasn't already, we're going to get it all the way to the sides and into the corners. Then we're going to add about 2 chopped chicken breasts. We've already grilled these up, removed all the fat, and chopped them into really nice little uniform cubes and add those right in. Now then, we got macaroni. What we need now is some cheese. So let's go ahead and add some Fiesta blend. Well, shoot, I've only got a little bit of the bag left, so I'm just going to turn her up and throw it all in. Sound good? I thought so. Sounds good to me, too. Next, we're going to put in a little spice. So we're going to use some buffalo wing sauce. We're just going to eyeball it. It's probably going to be about a 1/4 cup. We're just kind of sort of drizzle across the top. And then we're going to use that same rubber spatula to go ahead and fold all of these ingredients together. The shredded cheese, the pasta, the buffalo sauce, and the chicken. Beautiful. Now we're going to bring that cheese sauce in, and we're going to go ahead and just pour that all over the top. I'm going to use that spatula to get every drop of that goodie out. Make sure it goes into the pot with everything else, okay? Because we don't want to waste any of it. This is so good. And because it's got those large chunks in it, it's going to be real easy to go ahead and scrape the bowl and get it all down into your baking dish. No problem at all. Now, once we get that bowl empty, what we're going to do is go ahead and fold all the ingredients here in our baking pan together, just to make sure that everything gets very well coated, not only with the buffalo sauce, but also with the cheese sauce, the shredded cheese. And then we're just going to top it off with even more. Now, this is just straight up cheddar. We've got a little bit of shred, so what we're going to do is just go ahead and cover the entire top of this. I love it because we're going to bake it at 400 degrees for about 30 minutes. And that brown cheese topping is going to be so good. Now, on top of that, we're going to give it a little crunch with some of these French fried onions. Love them. Let's not go too crazy with it, okay? Because we already got a whole lot of onion and garlic in the recipe as it is. Give it a little bit of green with some of these beautiful dried and chopped chives because they are so good. Then a little paprika. Going to add a little bit more red right here to the top, okay? Just go ahead and give that a dash. Be kind of gentle with it, okay? It's got a fuller flavor, so we want to make sure that we're kind of even-handed with the spice that we're using. Now, we're going to put it in the oven, 400 degrees, 30 minutes. And I wish you'd look at that gorgeous come out of the oven. Oh, my word. Now, we've got cheese, we got chicken, we've got all those wonderful spices. We are ready to serve. Now, this is great for either a late night snack or even a side dish. Hey, if you want to, go ahead for a main. That's absolutely perfect with us. But I tell you what, this is wonderful. Now, just like all of our recipes, they are very easily customizable. If we've used something today that you don't love, no problem. Go ahead and sub it out for something you and your family does. But as for me and mine, we love this dish. Super hearty, cheesy, and amazing. Yes, please.